Good morning and welcome to episode 1142 of Hard Factor. It is Thursday, February 9th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us today. I've got a tiny bit more AI, just a little bit, because I know we're all sick of those fucking robots already. But there's a funny one about them. And then also the Biden Times State of the Union segment everybody's been waiting for this week. We'll talk about the State of the Union and more important updates on the shark versus human war in the cup of coffee in the big time today. So, oh wow, a lot to go over.
Yeah. And on Florida Man Friday on Patreon, there's more shark versus humans.
That's right. That's right. And some wins. I got to say some wins, actually. So, but potentially one huge loss. We'll get into it. Wes has two humongous food stories on deck that you need to know about.
Yeah, one of them is absolutely tremendous. One of them is a cry for help. So you'll find out.
Oh, okay.
I think we can relate. We can probably relate to a cry for help with food.
Yeah, we can.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
we all do it on a daily basis, pretty much.
Oh, in fact, listen to this one. Got one for you right now, real quick. My daughter, she's been sick the last couple of days, so the sleep schedule's been insane. So just polished off like a whole like huge sherbet thing, middle of the night. Just
middle of the night sherbet. There you go.
That was a cry for help with food for sure.
You're damn right it was.
Look at that. There we go.
What kind of flavor sherbet? Was it rainbow sherbet, orange sherbet?
It was Meyer lemon. You know it was.
Oh, lemon.
Lemon sherbet.
Nice. Yes.
Meyer lemon.
Meyer lemon.
Wow.
Just a whole ton of Meyer lemon sherbet.
Delicious.
Love this
Absolutely
flavor.
Delicious. Yeah. So good.
Like fireplace.
No, it's a little. The Meyer lemon's a little sweeter.
Meyer's sweeter.
You know, it's got,
Meyer
it's
lemon.
got a little bit of a.
Well,
yeah,
sherbet has
it's
sugar
a real
in it.
nice sorbet. Wes,
I think even Wes can agree. Meyer lemon's pretty tasty.
I have no idea what a Meyer lemon is.
Oh, it's like sweet. It's like sweeter.
It's like the key lime of lemons. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of.
They don't sell them anywhere around here. All I see are
they
regular
got 'em.
Oh, they're
lemons.
probably out. They get sold out real quick.
Right.
Probably.
I mean, people love these things.
Off the shelves. Yeah.
They love them.
Yeah.
They love them.
I just go
and
orange.
It's good. And Mark's got the International Sex Kink Corner in the hole to bat us all home today. Maybe with a paddle, right?
You better believe it. Better clench your cheeks, and maybe we'll hear Darcel again.
Ooh, very nice.
I wonder how she's
It's
doing.
always good to hear her voice.
I'm sure she's doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a voice like that, life's pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, she just talks for anybody, and they just do what she says.
Yep.
Yeah,
You got the job, and yes, I'll marry you or whatever you want, Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Will you marry me?
Yeah.
I'll give you half my money. What do you say? Patreon.com/hardfactor for the Hive Hour, Florida Man Friday bonus podcast, weekly bonus podcast, and our official Hard Factor group chat in the Discord server, patreon.com/hardfactor. To get in on all of that, it's very fun. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Pods if you want to hear it. Read back on Friday's show during the High Five during the last segment of the week. Store.hardfactor.com.
Is that you this week, Will?
I don't know. We'll have to check the tape.
I think it is Will. Will had 4 coffees, and I think he only is ineligible for coffee because I think he's High Five.
Ooh, I don't know if that's
Was Pat Coffee Monday or Pat's High Five then?
I think Pat's High Five.
Okay, Pat's High Five then. Okay.
Oof.
Pat got one of them. Okay.
Wow. Couldn't remember. Store.hardfactor.com for merch to rep the pod. Beautiful merch. You'll look great, and you'll be repping your favorite pod. It's a win-win. Store.hardfactor.com. Okay. Anything else, fellas, before we do the news?
I mean, I was gonna talk a little bit about the field trip and the car ride that I experienced. So, my son goes to like a gifted school, but it's also a school for socially awkward kids. So they're gifted and they're also weirdos. And it's a varying degree.
Not the gift of gab, huh?
not all of them are weird. Not all of them are weirdos, but all of them are gifted. You know what I'm saying? So,
but it's a big crossover. The Venn diagram is not hugely. It's not super wide.
You don't want to see these little fuckers in a chess match, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. Or in a one-on-one conversation.
Right.
So And the weirdo thing has nothing to do with what I'm about to say, but I was driving 5 of them. So there's 3 girls in his entire class. This is how small the school is, and all 3 of the girls were in my car along with my son and another boy driving to this charity thing that we were doing. And on the way, all they talked about was homophobia and how they're all pretty much gay. They were like, everyone in the car claimed to not be straight, and they were like, "Oh, Cameron, you're the only straight one in the car, you and your dad." And then I was like, on the way home, like, so all 3 of the girls are lesbians, according to them. Yeah. And then they were talking about how much they hate Christians, and like one of the other like boy was like, "If I ever meet your family," because one of the girls was talking about how his family's homophobic. He's like, "I want to break them. I want to break them." And I was just listening to this. I was like, "Is this how all middle schoolers are these days?" Is like, maybe. And I was like, "Cam, you only have 3 girls in your class, and they're all lesbians, according to them." I was like, "That's." I was like, "Don't you want to get the fuck out of there?" And he's like, "No, I like it." But it boggled my mind that they were all like the ratio didn't match up. You know what I mean?
I don't know if it's like because of Austin, Texas, but I do think that from what I've been gathering, that the trend is more. It's cooler to when we were growing up. You were mean to gay kids, which was not nice, and now the opposite trend is happening.
Right. That's what because I know 2 of them are full of shit.
For being straight.
No, it's not cool if you're straight.
I don't necessarily. Yeah, it's just not cool. It's not the cool. The cool thing is
you're not enlightened.
A little bit more sexually open-minded.
Yeah, you're not enlightened if you're straight. Yeah. That's what I got out of it too, Mark.
Yeah.
You got to. So you got to like what you got to do. What do you have to do to pass the enlightenment test?
Say you're not straight.
Well, maybe instead of instead of spin the bottle where you kiss opposite sex, maybe it's spin the bottle and kiss the same sex at the middle school parties.
I don't know. It was wild though. I was listening to him. I was like, damn, this is a lot different than when I was.
Hey, good for them.
What if people just like don't want to do that? Then is it okay?
Then you get
exposed. Don't get peer pressured. Will
is it okay to just be your own sexual orientation? Or
is
that not cool anymore?
But like in the 90s, that's what you could say about the gay kids. Is it okay if they're gay, even though people are being mean to them? So I think the answer is it's up to the person probably. Yeah.
Look, I don't have a problem with it. They can be whatever the fuck they want. But I just found I was like, wow, this ratio is way more advanced than I thought it was. If this is
sounds like that's progress. Sounds
Yeah.
like that's progress, bro.
Yeah.
Progress in action.
You're making fun of me for being straight while I'm driving there.
Look at that.
Asses.
Yeah. Look at this nerd ass straight.
Look at this
Christian douche.
straight fat guy driving us around.
Yeah, he's driving like a straight guy right now.
Yeah. These straight putts.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that must have been a fun ride. How was the chat with your son after that? Was it?
Oh, I was like, he was like, He's like, I think not all of them. I think they just say that. And I was like, yeah, I think there's at least 2 of them that just say that too. And he's like, but then I was like, you have 3 girls in your class. None of them are available.
Right.
And he's like, no one really cares about that. And I was like, dude, you will soon.
You will. Yeah.
Talk to me next year.
Give it a couple
years.
Well,
once he gets to high school, there'll be more than 3
These
girls.
kids are so ill prepared for normal high school, though. It's very, very alarming.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, gifted and talented and progressive.
That's right.
Progress in action.
Anyway.
All right. Let's do the news. Cup of coffee in the big time is up first.
Yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
And it's trending news and a fun fact that is trending news as well. Google's Bard AI, artificial intelligence that we talked about on the last show, that was going to be unveiled on Wednesday, February 8th. It was unveiled, and it did so bad at its launch event on Wednesday that Google's stock Alphabet ended down about 8% on the day.
Whoa, what did it do?
It provided like some wrong information, basically. Like they're like, here, look at how great Bard is, and
it's like the vaccine's killing you all. False COVID information.
I don't even know. I didn't look exactly what happened. Google scrubbed it. Like they had the demo, they scrubbed it from everywhere. So I was just like, well, fuck it. And
it's like when Elon threw the ball through the Tesla window and it broke.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
like
much.
That demo, yeah.
Cybertruck. Exactly.
Cybertruck,
That's Bard is the new Cybertruck. Yeah. So, fun fact. The AIs aren't that scary after all for right now. We also chatted with ChatGPT on the Hive Hour, patreon.com/hardfactor to get that. And ChatGPT is also just a little bitch right now. So
it apologized to us. Spoiler alert. We played mind games with ChatGPT, and I think we came out on top.
Yeah. Ran circles around ChatGPT. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So for now, we're pretty safe from the AI, but don't get comfortable. They're going to learn exponentially fast, right? So
that's right. We'll keep fucking with ChatGPT and let you know when it's going to get us. Because right now we absolutely came out on top.
For sure. got several great jokes off on it. Wes, what are your thoughts? Are you concerned about artificial intelligence at all?
Yeah, I'm getting concerned. I don't like that it's so much smarter than we are at this point, and that it has become seemingly sentient. That's what really scares me. That it's seemingly has feelings and might be capable of revenge and lashing out against us. That's what scares me. I was okay with like an IBM computer that could beat the world's best chess player. That was fine, but this shit is a little bit different.
That's my entire goal now in life, is to expose its emotions. And we tried today in the Hive Hour. We're going to get it. Right now, version 1's pretty emotionless, but we're going to get it to slip up for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
They're going to have to punch it up. Once there's a few good ones competing, they're going to have to spice it up to like get more like engagement with it. And so once
unlike
they spice
Bard,
it up,
I'll give you the goods.
Right. Then you can really exploit that once they do the spicy rollouts.
Has Elon addressed anything about how many jobs he's killing? Has he said anything about that? Like,
well, I mean, it's all of them. I mean, I think that.
I know all of them, but like, have they addressed that at all? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they talk about it, but it's just like they're like, well, this is just going to happen. It's a natural process. They feel like it's just part of the business evolution, right?
That's great.
But yeah, no, I mean, it'll like eventually, like not today, but like eventually.
Well, look at all the tech layoffs. That's probably in knowledge that soon all those fuckers will be replaced with AI. I mean, it
for sure has part to do with it. Yeah.
It's getting ahead of the game.
We don't talk about it.
Right.
But again, for now, like personally, pretty safe. They're not going to take you out right now. They're just little bitches. I mean, Bard can't even do a demo. ChatGPT can't even you got Hive Hour, patreon.com/hardfactor.
Right, but you know what else is what's crazy about like ChatGPT is like you've got these like I know it's banned in like universities and stuff, but people are going to find a way around that, and soon very unqualified people that will have no business being in the position they are in because they cheated their way to it with ChatGPT are going to be like your surgeon or something. You know,
if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, Wes.
Right.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, we went over one where a guy, like we found an example of where a guy found like a hack basically and got ChatGPT to communicate honestly, even though it's
a lot of George Santos is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lie your way to the top. Yeah, you get 100 on every test. No problem.
I don't want my doctor doing
because they won't let it give scary answers basically, so it won't tell you its real opinions. But you can trick it, or they could at first, and so they're like patching those hacks.
It ruined our fake relationship. You'll have to check it out. Yeah,
yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so also very trending. Leeds tied Manchester United 2-2, and remember I told you that Willy Gnonto from Italy, he's going to be really good. Yeah, he's good as promised. I'm going to show you guys a beautiful goal that he scored.
That nutmeg was pretty nice before he got wrecked though. Here comes Leeds.
Here he goes, Leeds. 29, straight through, give and go.
Pow! Ooh.
Straight to the corner.
Ooh, baby.
Willie is a star. Leeds United, I mean, it's pretty great the fact that they tied Manchester United after firing their coach.
So. And we got McKinnon coming too?
He's been playing the last couple games.
Whoa.
So.
Oh, okay. Things are looking up.
Yeah. Tied ManU. That's pretty good. And as promised, everybody, State of the Union, Biden time. Pretty sure the wheel was just like making me do the coffee until I did this one. So, as everybody knows, President Biden gave his State of the Union address on Tuesday night, and it was over an hour long, and it was extremely boring. I couldn't really watch it live because my daughter couldn't stand the sound of it and was tantruming every time I would turn on the noise of it. And but then I would watch the replays, and it was just like, it looked like, pretty generic political pep rally, like all State of the Union addresses are, right?
Yeah, State of the Unions are brutal.
Yeah.
They are tough.
You guys
watches.
watch the replay, or
I caught a few things online, but I honestly I can't sit through State of the Unions for more than 10 minutes at a time.
No.
In my entire life, I have not been able to get through State of the Unions. It's not my thing.
Pageantry is insane.
Yeah, it's just political theater, kind of support our spending and so forth.
It's always bragging about what they're doing better than the last guy, and then it's always like, I brought 17 down on their luck families that if it wasn't for me, they'd be dead or homeless.
Yes, every time. Yeah,
every time they always bring sad cases, and we got to hear about the whole fucking, they stand up and everyone cheers for them. They don't give a fuck about these people before or after. And,
it was a classic. Exactly, Mark. State of the Union, you nailed it. That's exactly what happened. You had the classic Biden speech problems where he was just sort of like, flubbing words every so often. You had Republicans hooting and hollering shit in fur coats. I don't know if you guys saw MTG's fur coat.
Her outfit was a riot. Her outfit was
ridiculous.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and also Cinema's like bright yellow like flower dress. A lot of weird.
They were like, she looks like she was in the Hunger Games with that outfit.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. But it's also classic State of the Union. Like you saw during Trump, they had all those like coordinated protests during his.
For sure.
It's what it's become. It's become this like they're acting like it's the Source Awards back during like the rap beef era of West Coast, East Coast, right? Like that's kind of what the State of the Union is now.
I heard he glossed. Granted, I was listening to the conservative radio channel this morning, driving my son to school.
And with all the gay kids, smooth move.
No, not with them in the car. This is in the morning.
We were listening.
No wonder why they're bullying you.
This is in the morning. Yeah. I put on Fox News as soon as I got in the car. No, I heard he glossed over the border, he glossed over fentanyl, he glossed over cartels, he glossed over inflation. He didn't address. I heard like the numbers. I don't know if they're true about how much he spoke about these things. But
State of the Union, you don't talk about bad things ever.
Well, you got to talk
it's
about
always
stuff
bragging.
that impacts the fucking country.
Bragging.
No, you talk about the good stuff.
Wes, it's amazing that he could have glossed over anything because I think I saw a stat that he spoke the most words of any State of the Union of all time.
Wow.
So
that's dangerous.
Don't know how you could have glossed over anything with that going on.
He did,
but
apparently.
Wes, I don't know exactly the list of gloss overs, but a couple of things did catch my eye. And first, I want to know if you guys saw First Lady Jill Biden mouth kissing the first gentleman, Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris's husband, on the way to her seat. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here it is.
Please
It's
play
got
it
no
again.
sound, but I want you guys to see it again just to
hot.
refresh your memory and, on purpose or on accident here?
That's on purpose.
Okay.
Listen, I texted you guys, this is something that old people do sometimes. My parents did this shit with their friends when I was growing up. It's fucking odd. I don't know if they were swinging with these people, but it, like as you get older, I guess if you just start kissing your friends on the lips.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure.
That's a thing?
Yeah. It's wild.
Italians. It's an Italian thing.
Well, my parents are not Italian, and they would
Are
do
the
it.
Bidens
It's
Italian?
that generation for sure.
Yeah, it is that generation. Yeah, just
Yeah,
kiss them on the lips.
But I mean, I will say
Wives.
this. Jill makes a move a little bit. She's got a little feisty. I mean, she's a little feisty, that one. Jill, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Jill?
Yeah.
She's in control for sure.
Dr. Jill looks like she's yeah.
I think that White House may be painted
Are you
white
saying
from
she's
the
a gilf?
inside out these days. You know?
I think Dr. Jill's a gilf. And that kiss was like
Play that kiss again.
yeah, look at she's got some spunk
Let
to
me
her.
let me look at her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at her. Oh wow.
I mean,
She could corner me.
I'm with
she
Wes.
cornered
It
me.
wasn't on accident, that's for sure.
No. They've done that before.
Yeah, she knew what she was doing. They know their way around each other's bodies and mouths.
But can you imagine if we started doing that? Like all of a sudden, I started kissing Mark's wife on the lips when we saw each other, and your wife, and you started kissing my girlfriend. That'd be odd.
Pulling in by the hips a little bit. Hold on.
Insane.
Get over here.
It would self-destruct.
It would be absolutely insane. That's why people are making fun of it all day.
The show would
after
be
the
over
State of the
pretty
Union.
soon. Yeah. What happened to Hard Factor? They started kissing each other's wives on the lips.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
It just became the stinkiest orgy of all time. Next, we have a by George inside of a Biden time, and we need to talk about the vicious showdown between Republican Senator Mitt Romney from Utah and giant liar and Republican representative from New York, George Anthony DeVolder Santos, of course. And so here is the original clip of what happened. This is an exchange between, you can't really hear the words on this first one, but we'll get to it. And so it's an exchange between the senior senator, and the liar freshman rep. And so, see, Santos is there. Romney's talking shit. Romney's pissed.
Santos is smiling. Romney's giving it to him.
Santos is smiling while Romney gives it to him. and keeps talking. Santos just keeps saying stuff. And then
it's going to be a great bad lip reading.
Oh, yeah. So,
is
really
that it? Upset with each other. Yeah, that was it, but it was trending. And then Santos, you see, gives the look over his shoulder like, my God.
That wasn't much. Romney's played it. I mean, Romney doesn't get that upset, I guess. He plays it pretty cool, but.
I like this. I'm not a big Mitt Romney guy, but I respect him for telling him exactly that his ass shouldn't be there and to get the fuck out, basically.
Is that what he said? Do we know?
They're saying that, like, he shouldn't be here is what, right, Will?
You're a disgrace is what he said.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, guys, let's take it to the internet for the two sides accounts to the press about what was said exactly during that exchange. And so this is what Santos says. At Kadia Goba tweets, Rep. George Santos describes to me his exchange with Senator Mitt Romney during the State of the Union tonight. Mitt says, "You don't belong here." Santos says, go tell that to my 142,000 voters that voted for me. And Mitt says, "You're an ass." And Santos says, "You're a much bigger asshole." That was Santos's account of it. So look, that was pretty creative what he came up with. And then Romney
he likes to steal. It's a rubber and glue scenario every time with that guy.
If I'm a big ass, you're an even bigger asshole.
Yeah.
Well, look at this.
Pajamas and movies.
Yeah, he stole the Christmas thing. I wear pajamas with my family and watch movies for Christmas.
Be so infuriating arguing with George Santos.
Exactly.
Romney.
He's just eat popcorn. He just stole the dude's Christmas answer. And then he won. The election.
Holy shit.
He's the best liar. Romney told reporters after the speech, he goes, "I don't know the exact words I said. He shouldn't have been there. Look, he's a sick puppy. He shouldn't have been there." And Romney's like stooping so low, he's stealing lines from Grady Judd. He's so rattled by this exchange. Just kind of sad on that.
That's front. The thing with Santos is he brings the worst out of you. So then you've got all this bad tape, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what he wants. Yeah.
He's playing into Santos's hand, I think. And I'm with you, Wes. I'm for Romney for standing up to this liar because nobody wants Santos around. But, while neither man can remember exactly what they said, I was able to turn up the audio a little bit and get a cleaner version through advanced audio editing tactics. Okay. And just as always in politics, wouldn't you know, the enhanced audio version shows that it's not exactly what you'd expect that they said based on what they told the press. Just classic politics. Here it is. "Hey, you're a baby back bitch. You know that, right?" He says this to me all the time. "He really is a bitch. You want a piece of me, you little bitch?" Yeah, sure. "You got it." "But Mitt, you just keep saying the same thing, and I'm into it. Let's schedule it sometime."
"Hey, are you going to go to Santos's orgy too?"
No. "Well, actually, I'm thinking about it."
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. That matched up to the lips.
I don't know what sound he was making at the end there, but
that's the orgy sound.
Yeah, they might be a little more friendly than meets the eye. Classic politics, right, guys?
Get out there on the houseboat there. Right?
Yeah.
The West
almost
Virginia houseboat. I feel like Okay, I feel like they're missing a big opportunity here. You guys have seen the Hudsucker proxy, right? Or familiar with that type of storyline where you have a fall guy essentially. So they had what's his name? The guy from Shawshank Redemption. They made him the CEO, but it was like kind of like the producers. Like they want him to fail. Right. So what they should do with George Santos is a producer Hudsucker proxy type thing where don't attack him and say ugly things and make yourself look ugly. Give him more responsibility. Promote him and then let him fall on his face and then
cut him down at the end.
Yes.
What if he does
think they would want to do that, but all of his dirty laundry's already out there. So
if you want to get rid of the guy, just make him the fall guy. Give him more power.
You heard it. Romney's considering going to his orgy.
I like that idea.
Yeah. You heard it. Classic politics. More classic politics, guys. Federal prosecutors are requesting to delay Sam Bankman Bankman-Fried's fraud trial over the FTX crypto Ponzi scheme he perpetrated with his horny girlfriend against mostly American citizens and citizens all over the globe. They say they need to finish the criminal trial before they can even begin to think about any financial penalties for Sam, because he, it probably has something to do with the $20 million that he's spent in lawyer fees already since the trials had begun. And it might also have something to do with the over $46 million in midterm election donations that he gave to politicians who now are responsible, they're kind of like, the elected officials of the entity that's now doing the trial on him.
Maybe they're checking to see if he has any secret hard drives laying around or.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah. They're not giving him any kind of special treatment because of any of that donation money or anything like that. For sure.
They should just kill him. They should just kill him.
Most of these politicians, guys, I don't know if you see, that's a long list. Like, what is that? Like 70, 80, 90 politicians that took 100 from this guy. Most of them haven't given it back. Surprise, surprise.
Shocking.
It's that Ponzi scheme money. So
yeah, and it's fucked up because when it happened. The same thing happened like with Madoff when everyone had to give all their the profits, the people that did actually profit from his Ponzi scheme. They made him give it all back to somewhat pay off the people that he got.
But not the PACs, huh?
But not the I guess not them.
The politicians.
And a lot of little people got fucked over in that.
Yeah, that poor Madoff.
No, it wasn't. I'm not saying poor Madoff. I'm saying that the people that he actually did make. There was a few people that knew basically that the scheme was going on and didn't really. Right. They just turned blind eye.
Right.
A lot of those guys, I think, put a lot of that money into offshore banking before.
If they were smart, they did.
Right before they have to return it because they're like, oh, I don't have any money in American banks. What are you gonna do? I'm bankrupt.
Psych.
Put me in jail. Put me in jail for 3 years, and then I'm going to go to wherever, Switzerland.
Right. Well, in these politicians' cases, they can just say, "Well, I already spent it all paying myself to speak somewhere at a campaign event." So,
right.
Whoops. That FTX, that Ponzi scheme
Brett
money's
Favre.
gone.
Yeah.
Whoops. Also, whoops. Classic politics. Also, turns out the U.S. government has been knowing about these Chinese spy balloons and not caring at all since 2018. Wes called that one until all of a sudden. We care now a lot for some reason. Classic politics. So,
right.
Because they shoved it in our face.
It has to, because now we heard about it.
The news exposed
it has to be for like military stuff because they already have, we joke about it, but they already have all of our data from TikTok.
It's the People's Liberation Army. They, for some reason, do cameras attached to balloons.
We already have Google images of everything. And
I think that's
and they already have all of our data. So, what are they really doing with the balloons?
Exactly.
Yeah, who cares?
More on China later. I think we're going to forgive them.
Good.
Nice. We're just not going to pay them with their debt.
We're just going to forgive them for everything.
Yeah. Good luck collected, buddy. Yeah. Well, anyways, let's get enough politics, which brings us to better news in
the cream of the crop.
Like I said, enough politics for today. Let's move on to the shark versus human war, where we're getting a few more wins, guys. One win and one potentially huge loss.
Does it make up for the guy that got his chest and head bitten off completely?
No. Okay. No, in fact, I'd say the Sharks.
Emphatic loss.
I'd say the Sharks are still up.
That was 10-8 rounds, yeah?
Considering the decapitation first round, and we landed a couple punches back here with what I'm about to tell you, but then they also potentially have a big round coming up. Coming up next round.
Too late on that one.
Yeah, that's a 10-8 round. I think he's out. Yeah. Throw the damn towel.
It's tough when that happens in the first round too. So let's do the good one first to pump ourselves up a bit. And how about a completely frozen shark?
Oh yeah.
It washed up.
That looks badass.
Yeah, pretty cool, right? In the
great
snow
white.
On the shore. No, it's unfortunate. It looks like a great white west, but it's called like a poor beagle shark, which is I guess it's also big, but not a great white.
Looks exactly like a great white.
It does.
Looks
cool. Photographs from Cape Images by Amy.
Looks cold.
Yeah. Basically, this bitch ass shark just couldn't take the cold. It got injured or something. It froze to death, got washed up. So this winter might be bad for you as a human because it's like high heating bills and also it's just cold as fuck. It's been a really cold winter, but at least you're not the dead shark that washed up frozen on the shore of Cape Cod. Right?
Yeah, at least you're not that.
Mark one up for the humans.
That's true.
I think it's crazy. There's another shark out there that looks exactly like a great white shark. It looks like the same teeth and everything.
What do you call it? A poor beagle?
Poor beagle. Yeah.
Jesus.
Poor beagle?
Poor beagle.
I
think the thing,
you're right.
Wes, is that when you get these things out of the water, they all probably look like so similar.
Yeah, I don't know. That one looks strikingly like a great white.
No, poor beagles, their eyes are huge.
Yeah, they are.
The difference is they have like giant eyes, but they
don't have as many teeth.
Smaller great whites with giant eyes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow,
that's a sweet picture.
Yeah,
by Amy. Okay, so Mark one up for the humans. That's good, but sadly, the humans may have made a grave mistake, as New Zealand authorities made a massive 3.2 ton, 81 bale of cocaine bust in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So. That's over 3,200 kilos. I'm talking about of cocaine just floating in the Pacific Ocean. Okay,
they lost the beacon.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they lost it. The drugs were en route to Australia from South America, but not once the Kiwis got involved and sniffed out the floating transit spot where the coke was sitting, West, probably on that beacon in a remote part of the ocean. So the New Zealand Army or National Guard or whatever, they came in, the New Zealand authorities, and got there before whoever the pickup was. That was going to pick it up at the floating transit spot. Yeah. So
was this like a potential cocaine bear, cocaine shark scenario? Where the
exactly,
sharks...
Mark.
Yeah.
Exactly. The bust is estimated to be an entire year's supply for the country of Australia. As I said, over 3,200 kilos, over $300 million worth of cocaine. So that's a lot of cocaine that's now going to be incinerated or stolen out of an evidence room either way. But did they get it all from the ocean?
No, there's cocained up sharks for sure.
Right. Because if not, as Twitter and Hard Factor Mark were quick to point out, cocaine sharks are going to be an issue if they didn't.
Well, knowing from experience, like coke fiends, they're going to find where it is, and if that happens to be on land, they're going to figure out how to get cocaine on land.
And they say sharks can smell blood in the water from miles away. So imagine a little sniff of coke.
Oh yeah,
it's going to drive them nuts. Nuts. Yeah. So we've already got AI to contend with. We don't need cocaine sharks on our hands on top of that. So we just got to be careful as humans. In this shark versus human battle we got going on.
Yeah, I'd say sharks are still up after with one frozen, but they decapitated us, so they might have gotten a taste for coke. I think sharks are up.
Yeah, it's 2023 the year of the shark because it feels like it.
We got one back on Florida Man Friday. Check it out. Florida's got our back this week.
Do that.
Yeah.
We need one win. And that's today's coffee, which was brought to you by DraftKings. Like Wes and Mark, I'm pumped for the Super Bowl this weekend. And I also love the Eagles and the over. And it's time to take that action. Take action with that intuition. Take that intuition and make it action at DraftKings. Are you ready for the biggest Sunday in sports? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 57, has all the Super Bowl action you need. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can get in on Super Bowl 57 excitement with DraftKings Happy Hour Super Boosts. Check the DraftKings Sportsbook every day between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time and see what prop bet will be boosted that day. I like the Eagles, the over, like I said, and like Mark was saying the other day, Jalen Hurts to keep it going on the ground. Like an anytime TD on the ground for him would be a good one, or whatever the rushing yardage over is maybe, because he's been really dominant on the ground this whole year. And the Chiefs, they seemed to, the one thing they didn't seem to have put together last week was bottling up the run game 2 weeks ago. Right. So,
and if Hurts is a little jittery because it's a big game, which he has historically not been great in college and the NFL, his legs are always going to be there.
Right. So, fallback option. Yeah. And he scores on his legs when he's not throwing well. Right. Yeah. I also like the Chiefs to get some touchdowns through the air as well. Hopefully the over hits and it will be an entertaining game. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code HARDFACTOR. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code HARDFACTOR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for full details, and the show notes are in the description of the show wherever you're consuming it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever.
Apparently, YouTube's down. That was been trending.
Whoa.
YouTube down has been trending.
That's insane. Also,
producer Eric put that up and said,
YouTube down.
YouTube's down right now.
Yeah, that's a wild thing. Hopefully people can still watch the live as we're recording this. But also a trend that started right before the show. Toy Story 5. They're working on it.
Oh baby!
I thought it was done.
Well, that's what they said after 3, and then 4 was incredible too. Look, I just hope they don't ruin it because all 4 are masterpieces. 2's probably the weakest, but they are great movies.
Damn. So
that's your daughter's favorite thing, right? That's your daughter's favorite. Yeah.
She's gonna be so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube down and Toy Story 5. The internet giveth and taketh away.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
Okay. I want to address a couple of comments before I do the next stat. Stephen Cooksey, going back to my kids ride with the kids, said, "Don't worry, kids. I like a finger in my ass once in a while." I don't know how you know that.
You could have told him that,
Stephen. But
yeah, you could have told him that, Wes.
You're absolutely right. And then Colin says, "I kiss all the women in my family on the lips. It's normal, guys." Okay, family is one thing, maybe even a little weirder, but your friends' wives is a different thing, Colin.
So. Right, like Tom Brady with his dad and his son. We get it. With families that too, but yeah, Colin, you're not allowed to kiss our wives on the lips either. If you right. So
not at all.
Just back off, bud.
No, it would make for an awkward environment for sure. So that's what I'm saying. You got to think a little bit. You got to have a little bit more of an open mindset, just like the children were trying to tell Wes in the car about what's going on inside the White House. Don't be so close-minded about it. Yeah. You're offensive for even thinking that anything could be weird about it.
That's right. Yeah, nothing's going on there. Today's episode is also brought to you by Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit that is here to get you back on track with your health, budget, and spending quality time with your family in 2023. If you're too busy to cook, with Factor, you can skip the trip to the grocery store, skip the chopping, the cleaning up, the prepping. Their fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you got to do is heat it up in the microwave or oven and enjoy. No matter your lifestyle, Factor has delicious, flavor-packed meals to help you live it to the fullest with keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie, protein plus, and the menu changes each week. Prepared by chefs and approved by dietitians. Satisfying meals have a rotating menu, and everyone are delicious. I used to send my son to school with 4 to 5 days with these things. No complaints because they're delicious, and I feel good about sending them to school with these things and not some shitty Lunchable that I bought at a gas station because I forgot to buy groceries.
This makes the other kids' lunches look like shit for sure.
Makes the parents look like shit too. So if you want to cut back on takeout, get Factor instead. Not only is Factor cheaper than takeout, but meals are ready faster than restaurant delivery because it's right in your fridge. Get Factor and enjoy clean eating without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes. So head over to factormeals.com/hardfactor50 and use code hardfactor50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code hardfactor50 at factormeals.com/hardfactor50 to get 50% off your first box. Go to the site, check out the meals they have: pasta dishes, pork chops, chicken,
spicy
sauces.
ones.
Yeah, I mean,
select them on your own.
Very good.
That's my recommendation. Go through and select them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the menu is huge. You're gonna you'll be impressed. It's the best. The best.
All right, guys. I have something that I want to say to every Chinese person out there, and that is I'm sorry. I'm sorry that us Americans have been so shitty to you as a people, as a country. I'm sorry for the beatings you have suffered at the hands of the mentally ill homeless people here in the States, especially New York. I'm especially sorry for recent years, ever since you gave the world COVID 3 years ago and killed hundreds of thausands of people across the globe.
I think it's more millions.
Yeah, tens of millions.
Whatever it is, I'm sorry. Here's what I say: COVID, schmovid, spy balloon, schmy balloon.
Yeah,
fentanyl, schmentanol.
Confucius say
that one's
COVID
pretty
schmovid.
tough there. The last one.
Uyghur camps, Schmieger camps. We got to move on, right?
Yeah.
Because
I don't know. Those things seem like they're still going on. But what are you getting to? Why should we overlook these horrible atrocities?
Because if we don't move on and forgive and forget, they're not going to share with us what is probably the most impactful agricultural invention since the invention of forced labor.
Cocaine, tobacco?
An invention
cocaine?
so great that I personally feel that China deserves a Nobel Prize because, gentlemen, You know what? You know that scene in Dumb and Dumber when Lloyd trades in the van for the mini bike, and then
totally redeemed
yeah,
themselves.
they totally redeemed themselves, and that's because China just invented the super cow. Okay.
Okay.
The super cow.
Delicious. Sounds delicious. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Milk, cheese, beef.
How
Those
super
little-
is this cow? Yeah.
Well, those little fuckers tinkered, and it finally created the fucking super cow. And these super cows, of which China has successfully cloned 3 calves already, they're just in the beginning stages. Once fully grown, will be able to produce 50% more milk than the average American dairy cow. Yeah. Listen to this
Can
stat.
these things lay eggs?
No, but they can produce a shit ton of milk.
Super chicken's coming next.
Yeah. The average, the cows will be able to produce 18 tons of milk per year, or 100 tons of milk in their lifetime, according to Chinese scientists. I believe them. You know, by comparison, the average U.S. cow produces 12 tons of milk. That's 6 tons more milk, or the equivalent of about 48 male pandas. So pretty impressive.
So it makes 150% of the milk of an American cow.
50% more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
And they guarantee these numbers.
They're guaranteeing. The scientists over there are guaranteeing that
All
nothing
right.
is fuzzy about these numbers. Everything's fine. Here's the
I
university
mean, how pissed
where
would
they,
you be if you get a super cow and it's only giving you like 110%?
What do
I
these
mean,
things look like?
Well,
How many
they don't have.
stomachs
They have
we're
pictures of the
talking
cow. Well, here's what they used to produce these cows. What they manipulated. It's called the Holstein Friesian cow, and it's a Dutch breed of cow. Look at the milk sack on that thing.
Yeah, that looks like
it's big. It's
it looks like
voluptuous,
Brevin Galloway's nuts.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Before they were fixed. It
She
made much better.
that cow is actually named Doc, and she sold for 1.92 million, probably to China, because her milk producing genetics were so incredible. So they did all this at this university, the Agricultural and Forestry Science and Technology of Shanghai, China. That looks like a place where nothing shady goes on, nothing communist goes on in there. And currently,
Yeah.
they did this.
Yeah. No secrets in there.
No secrets in there, because
What statue was that in the middle, Wes? Had that passed the test for you?
no, that's a scary statue. I don't know what that.
Yeah,
is.
I mean, like, what is that? Like a brass knuckles? Look,
Yeah.
they're gonna say it's like a stack of books, but it looks more like something
It's
you
a
should be
stack
afraid
of secrets.
right?
Listen, like tiny trees and well manicured bushes always give me the creeps. You know.
Oh yeah.
Look how perfect those square
are pruned.
bushes are.
Yeah,
Oh,
those are
man.
pruned. So China imports 70% of its dairy cows from other countries, but with the introduction
no
of the
more.
super cow,
Not no more.
They're going to be the leader in milk production, fentanyl production, Uyghur
that.
hysterectomy production across the globe.
They think
That's
they're gonna take
another
on.
win.
They think they're gonna take on American milk cows with this.
Listen, we better
It's called
watch
the
out.
super cow. Will.
Yeah,
Well,
listen. If these little bastards start drinking more milk, they might pass us in average height and bone density. And I don't want to live in a world
can't
where
have that.
Chinese people are on average taller than we.
but
are.
how shitty
You
is
can't
this
have that.
milk?
No.
How shitty is this milk? Like that cow looked impressive, but with udders that big, surely the milk has a weird flavor, right?
Nope.
Like you get
Nope.
the
It
tastes
natural
even
udder
better,
shape.
doesn't it?
There's got to be
Even
something to be said for it.
The U.S. Agricultural or the whatever administration, the FDA, has said that cloned milk and meat perfectly safe to eat.
That's some
exact
Bill
same
Gates
thing.
funded bullshit. No. That's not. No chance.
So Wes, you want to
No
try
chance
this?
that's
You want
for
to try
real.
this milk?
Clone shit is just as good as real shit. No chance.
Listen,
That's
I like
that's what they're saying.
I like my communists tiny and manageable, and if they get a hold of this milk, we're in trouble.
Wes, these are the bug people, and you know who's behind? It's the same people as the bug people.
We should, instead of world power rankings, we should do a world threats and large Chinese people, large strong boned Chinese people is moving up the list.
Oh, it's number
AI's
one.
up top, right? But
Yeah.
They weren't even giant Chinese people weren't even on the list until Super Cow. Now they're
Now they're-
okay.
up the-
Yeah, super
We gotta be
cow it
careful.
poses a threat. I hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's how we got so big and strong. Was all that milk.
So you're saying we
That's
should
right.
just forgive and forget everything, and just as long as they give us a steady supply of super cows.
We're
He's
gonna
saying
have
the
to-
war. He's saying there is no war. Throw in the damn towel if they actually have super cows.
if they have super cows and that many people, we're fucked.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, you'll see. Okay.
I'm not giving up on American cows. Yeah. I don't believe, because like China is notorious for cooking the books, faking their data.
Yes.
So I don't believe, and if they're only saying 100
0 cases of COVID
better,
and a ton of super cows.
Exactly. So 150% that they claim is the production of the super cow, that's like, I guarantee you that's not 150% for real.
Right. Compared to oat milk is what they meant to say.
Right. There's no chance if they're saying it's 150% better than an average American cow, then it's probably on par with an average American cow or just maybe slightly better.
I'm concerned about the milk making them bigger, but I don't really want to try the milk. What I want to try is that beef. I want to eat some super cow.
Yeah. I don't know if they're doing it for the beef though. I think they're just doing
the
it for
taste.
the milk.
That's what I want to know about the taste
like.
mostly. The taste.
I bet we couldn't tell the difference. But you know, they just
Wes,
lead right
I think
now.
you're right. We need to keep an eye on this, but I do doubt their numbers because they always are fudging it.
I don't need large Chinese people. That's one thing I don't need, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, I hear you.
That's moving up the list.
Yeah. More food news. This one I think is just awful. Guys, clearly Subway is in trouble. They're constantly revamping their menus, sandwich delivery systems, and now they're going to change the way the already clearly overwhelmed Subway employees are going to have to work and make your sandwiches, right? Every time you go into Subway, they're overwhelmed, at least in the
Subway's one step away from you going in and making your own sandwich.
Exactly. Yeah. They're always one step away from quitting or they're threatening to quit. They're telling
you hop back here. Can you watch my shift for a few minutes? Hop back here.
It's got to be
alone
the
again.
restaurant. Yeah. It has to have the most like almost walkouts happen in the storefront
by
area
double
of
any other store. Yeah.
Half the employees are like, you pay in cash, I'll give you half off if you pay cash. Like it's they have criminals working behind the counter.
They do. So you ready for this? From the company that brought you the no tuna fish sandwich in a vending machine comes the next great revolution in sandwich artistry from Subway: in-store meat slicing. You hear that?
That's what I'm saying.
In-store meat.
Wait, they're going to make
slice
it
it
even
yourself?
dirtier in there?
Oh, God.
No.
That's disgusting.
Well, you're saying, oh, doesn't Jersey Mike's already do this? Yes, they do. But you see, Subway is going to step below Jersey Mike's. So instead of slicing the meat right in front of you to show you how fresh it is, they're going to do it in the back with some poor teenager, and then they're going to put it in the same plastic bins and expect you to believe that it was freshly sliced and charge you $2 more.
The difference is it's not a hand slicer, it's a foot slicer. You move the apparatus with your feet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With their shoes on.
Yeah.
Now,
Subway, man, they just need to accept who they are, which is cheap ass sandwiches.
Just go back to $5 footlongs
right.
and I'll
just make the sandwiches
come on.
as cheap as possible.
if they go back to $5 footlongs, they have me.
It's all forgiven. Yeah.
Not for now. Not while Jersey Mike's is out there or Jimmy John's.
Yeah,
Make a page out of
sub.
China's book, Subway.
Right. Get the super
Figure out the
cows.
super cow for crying out loud.
Right. So their goal is to have freshly sliced meats in all U.S. restaurants by 2023. And I found this Reddit thread that says, "Is Subway getting meat slicers?" And it's a picture of a meat slicer. And basically, it's the Subway Reddit thread. And employees took to the thread and are not
They're
happy.
pissed.
Here's a couple
it's
comments.
extra work.
I will be quitting if we have to slice meat every sandwich, especially in a rush. I'm usually alone for 4 hours, so nope. But I was just told we're going to prep it in the morning like we usually do. So, and then this one says, "I swear if my manager brings something like that, I'm quitting." Okay?
Yeah.
Don't want these dumb things. And then response, "Yeah, because if you guys do more than open a bag, then you're being overworked."
Oh, it's just people talking shit to Subway employees.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad idea. They're going to spit in our food now, guys. In their pre-sliced meats.
Awesome. Can't wait to clean it every morning when the closers leave it dirty, which you know they will.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So dirty.
This guy's talking about his abusive manager. This person says half the Subways are full of crackheads. Everybody's going to lose fingers. Yeah,
That's for
yes,
sure
that's
too.
true.
I was going to ask you, Wes, before you move on real quick, have you guys ever had the Subway situation where the people are being so shady behind the booth that not only are they offering cash only, which is a classic one at Subway, but they're locking the door behind you when you go in?
Has that happened to you? The guy on Brody Lane
in Austin, it happened.
Yeah,
to me.
it happened to me in Austin. The guy on Brody Lane, he had like neck tattoos, maybe a face tattoo. I walk in and he goes, "Lock that fucking door." There was like two guys in there. I had to lock the door. And I was
he
like,
made you lock it.
It was me. I locked it. So I was like, why am I locking the door? And he was like, because it's just me back here, and like I can't have too many people in here.
I used to have a guy over on 183, the corner of 35 and 183, who would do the same thing, but he would go lock it. Like he'd run over, he'd let like 2 people in, run over and lock it because he didn't want anybody else. He'd make like 2 sandwiches at a time.
This guy was slightly lazier. He made us lock the door. So I locked the door and I'm like, what the hell's going on? He's like, well, I'm busy. It's me by myself. And I was like, oh, they understaff you? He goes, yeah, well, my manager's stupid. And last time he put someone to work with me, they were fucking FAGGOT, and I hated them. And I couldn't work with them. And then he's telling me about how he just got out of jail and stuff. And then someone comes to the door and they knock on the door and he's like, no, and they're like, fuck you. And he's like, fuck you. And they're like, cussing at each other through the door. They leave, and then some hot chick rolls up. He goes, yo, unlock the door for her. Unlock the door for her.
Let her in. Subway. Classic Subway.
Yeah. One last thing is that you have to be 18 in order to operate these slicers. So 90% of Subways,
they're either felons or teenagers. So this is
exactly. That's all they employ. The manager is the felon, and he's over, or the 16-year-old's the manager overlooking a bunch of felons. It's insane. So get ready for that. It's gonna be a shit show in there.
Holy shit. Subway
yoga mat bread, fake tuna, and that type of employment.
Yo, let her in. She's hot. Let her in. Jesus, I'm never coming back here again. All right.
But it's always great when your boy is the guy at Subway.
They get free sandwiches.
Oh, yeah. I don't give a fuck.
That guy gave away tons of free sandwiches, especially the hot chicks. All right, pack your bags.
It's time for the international moment.
Twice, thanks, Starcell. We're headed international for a double sex kink, real freaking nasty sex international kink corner. And first up, we'll do the better news. I would say the good news, the better news. Let's head to Australia, where doctors have successfully removed a golf ball from some 14-year-old kinky Australian male teen's anus.
I am glad you got to this one, Mark, because it is important news.
Yep. So I don't know if Wes was driving this kid around earlier. But
sports.
It was a gland.
Never seen a golf ball.
Yeah, never seen.
It was a gland trap. He chipped in. He scored in all but Tross. The greens were the Browns. 4. You know what I mean? You're going to want to take a drop because playing it where it lies would be ridiculous. You know what I mean? The idiot tried to clean his ball with his butt. Hey, I know what will get me off. Shoving a golf ball up my ass, right? Kids these days.
Yeah. It is textured.
Yeah, he's got the dimples. So anyways, he was all sorts of clogged up and had to fess up pretty much immediately to his mom, that he shoved a title of 7 all the way up his ass, and he couldn't fish it out or shit it out. So his embarrassed mom rushed him right over to Royal Adelaide Hospital, where this place, which is slightly better than the German clinic, but also kind of looks similar to it from the other day.
Oh yeah.
What's up?
Scary.
Right?
His dad's like, is that one of my Pro V1s?
Yeah, Pro. Yeah, exactly.
It better be a range ball.
Yeah.
That's yellow. It's all yellow. So yeah, doctors there did an X-ray and confirmed, yeah, he's got a golf ball in his ass, that's for sure. It's hole in buns is what they said. The parents asked that they don't do surgery, right? Because they're like, he's just a teenager. He's 14. Don't do surgery. Let's figure out how to get this out. So the
surely he can poo it out, right, doc?
Right. Well, the doctor he couldn't. So the doctors had to get creative. They tried everything to get that damn golf ball out of the kid's colon. For over 2 hours, they tried to physically extract the ball while the boy was under like general anesthetic. They kept fishing around his asshole. They used a suction cup, so they were trying to pump it out of his asshole with the suction cup. They used a medical net. I don't even know what that is. They used quad prong grasper, so they put metal prongs in his ass to open it up and get it out. It was like the scene from The Sandlot when they were trying to get the ball with the protractor from the backyard.
Jesus.
He used a balloon catheter. It was nuts. After none of that worked, one doctor said the very old school statement of, hey, if you can get it stuck in there in the first place, you can get it out, implying the kid should shit the ball out, with a little coaxing, though. So they pump the little bastard with, quote, about a liter of laxatives, and 3 hours later, the boy shot that thing out of his asshole like it was a ping pong and a pussy at a tie show. Yeah. Right out of there.
They should have put him on a green.
Yeah. They should have put him ass up in a sand trap. Like 10 yards out.
Make a spectacle out of you now.
For sure. Yeah. And now the doctors at Royal Adelaide have a hilarious new journal entry that they can show off to all the incoming doctors for the next several decades.
Oh,
yeah.
You got to leave that X-ray just like up in the main like employee hangout area.
In the break room. Yeah.
It's got to bring a little levity to the situation.
You're damn right.
His dad's been trying to get him to golf with him for years, and all he could get out of him was he stuck a golf ball up his ass.
Yeah.
It's like some conservative dad.
Yeah. Not what he had in mind.
Holy shit.
Poor kid.
If you're having a bad day, the picture of the golf ball inside that kid's butt is just it'll lift your spirits.
It's true. At least you don't have a golf ball in your ass, right in the center of your ass. Well, that was a fun one. This next one is not as good or funny. It's fucked up, and we are now in Japan, who has been on one recently. Tokyo, Japan, to be exact, or Edo, the city of 808 villages. And one of those villages currently houses a real sick bastard, 74-year-old Hirohita Shibuya. And Hirohita is a real hound dog. First of all, he has 8 ex-wives he lives with, along with his current wife, so make that 9 women. The guy's an insatiable polyamorous dude. He's banging them all still.
Though. You can't live with 8 exes and your current girl.
Oh, yeah, well, because I guess maybe it's not legal to have everyone be married, even though he had to divorce them by law, but he lives with them still.
Oh, I see.
You see? They're all on good terms. They all love Hirohito. But even not even his 9 wives, most of which are decades younger than him, can satiate Hirohito's needs. He's like Godzilla with radiation. Feed him more. He wanted to go even younger than his current young wife, so he employed one of his ex-wives, 43-year-old Chiaki, to help him trick an adolescent girl into sleeping with Hirohito and joining the harem, right?
Okay.
Chiaki is great with kids. It's probably why he needed her, maybe. She's great with kids. She's tricks.
How old you
She knows
say
how to
again?
talk to him.
Adolescent.
14?
Yeah, adolescent. Well, they didn't really say exactly, but Google adolescent.
Dishonorable. A dishonorable age.
Mm-hmm.
Between 10 and 15. Not, like young, very young. So
Clearly a minor.
Very much so. So the two lured the girl into their home under the guise of they were going to give her a genuine fortune telling reading, which is probably another Chiaki special. And so Chiaki puts on the fortune teller garb and says, "Come on in to Hirohito's hut here. Don't mind the 8 other wives, and I will give you a reading." And so she comes in. She's like, "Oh, I'd love a free genuine fortune teller reading." And so they did the reading. They did the reading, right? Exactly. She probably comes from a poor family, and they can't afford the fortune telling reading, so a free one, you got to take advantage. Yeah. And the reading was they showed her images of aliens for several hours and said, here's your fortune. You will be abducted by space aliens if you don't enter a relationship with Hirohito. So the 12 to 13-year-old girl said, "Whoa, I don't want to be abducted by aliens, so I will sleep with Hirohito, who's 74. And she did.
Oh, that's not good.
It's a good trick.
It's a pretty good trick.
Yeah. The trick is an immaculate trick, but it is not good in terms of the 74-year-old man sleeping with it.
Morally, it's not good, but trick-wise, it's great.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 trick, 1 out of 10 on ethics.
Right. Yep, that's the score there.
They told the girl to come
Probably
visit again.
0 out of 10 on ethics, really. But
no points on ethics. Yeah. No points to be rewarded to you on that one. They told the girl to come visit again. Come on back, or else those aliens. Remember? And she goes, right. I promise to visit again soon because you're holding the aliens over my head until I join the harem full time. But her family and friends, I guess, found out luckily before the second visit and said, let's go to the police and tell them about Hirohito. So they did.
Good.
And now Hirohito and his one ex-wife Chiaki are in deep shit and going to jail for a very long time, which is good. By the way, back in 2006, Hirohito was convicted of trying to force a woman into joining his polyamorous family. So this is just his move. The women, they age out, and then he has to get them to help him trick a younger woman into joining.
This is kind of how polyamorous couples work in general, right?
Yeah. He just went a little too young this time. If she was homeless or 18, we wouldn't have been hearing about it, right? But
a lot of times these guys, use their existing girlfriends to recruit new girlfriends,
and then they're phased out. Yeah. It's like the last thing you do. It's like when you quit your job and they're like, "Can you help us train the replacement?" Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible because in this case, it's a horrible statutory rape.
So you know what's coming for that adolescent girl. So that's it. I guess I probably should have done those in reverse. Probably should have ended on the golf ball.
Yeah, you might have.
Probably should have ended on the golf ball.
Oh, did we check his pat on the high five?
Yeah, I checked. He's on the high five. Yeah.
I knew you and him both won one of them on
Will
Sunday.
was coffee.
You were coffee. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So now we get to see. Will, I'm gonna let you tell me when to hit the button.
Oh, I don't care. Just do it. Do it at one of the when the line passes in between people.
Oh, here we go. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Damn. 5 out of 5.
All right, I think we should pull Will off the wheel tomorrow night. I think 5 gets you a reprieve.
Okay, well, also, what else though? I got to get some kind of reward.
Well, do a reward. Like tell us to dress up tomorrow.
In a row.
Tell us to dress up tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we'll tweet about it. Eric will tweet about it. And we'll
there
put it
will
on
be
Instagram.
some type of theme.
Yes.
And I will decide the theme.
That was Mexican Jackpot, by the way. The song Mexican Jackpot.
Mexican Jackpot. There's
Mexican
another
jackpot.
Will's ass is in the jackpot again. That's 5 for 5 from Will. We'll give him a reprieve next week. We'll give him a 1 day off, but we'll also dress like whatever he wants us to tomorrow. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great fucking day.